I'm Evan Schmidt, and I'm a senior on the women's rowing team. I'm proud today to introduce you to Elise Lindborg for induction into the PLU Athletics Hall of Fame. Elise could move a boat, and fast. From the start of her collegiate career, in the fall of 1981, the Novice 4 crushed the University of Washington by more than 2 boat lengths at the Western Washington Invitational. Dick Erickson, the legendary UW coach, offered personal congratulations. This foreshadowed the success to come. Elise rowed in boats with 9 first-place finishes over her first 2 seasons. As a sophomore, she collected regional titles in both the lightweight pair and the varsity light 4, earned invitations to the national championships in Wisconsin, where her light 4 finished 5th, and national championships in Indiana, where she rowed to 6th-place finishes for both the light pair and light 8. As a junior, Elise's boats produced 12 top 2 finishes and defeated rival Puget Sound in the Lindborg Cup. Her light 4 rode to a 4th-place finish at the national championships that year in Seattle. Her senior season featured 12 event titles, including another Lindborg Cup victory over UPS and regional titles in the light pair and light 4. Her season culminated with a win in the light 4 at the West Coast Championships, defeating UCLA, Oregon, and UC San Diego. Elise and the Lutes were the only school rowing in the final in a wooden boat. After graduation, Elise took over as the women's head coach, and everyone wanted to row for Elise. 130 women tried out for the team. From 1985 to 89, Elise and her women's team never lost the Lindborg Cup and made 4 appearances at the West Coast Championships. Elise continued her contributions to rowing on a national scale. She was a team manager for several U.S. rowing camps, the team leader for the U.S. elite rowing team, and participated in several USOC Olympic festivals. At the Pan American Games in Cuba in 1991, Elise presented Fidel Castro with a Goodwill Award on behalf of the U.S. team. In 1995, the U.S. Olympic Committee ranked Elise as the top team leader out of 71 people at the Pan Am Games held that year in Argentina. She also served as a team leader for the U.S. Olympic rowing team at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. While it would be easy to measure a decorated rower like Elise only by her victories, her contributions as a teammate and a leader extended beyond the water. Elise continues to be a role model for our athletes and our community. She has built a powerful legacy for PLU, one that inspires women, rowers, athletes, and all students to apply the commitment, focus, and drive they develop here to all areas of life. At this time, I am honored to introduce Elise Lindborg for induction into the PLU Athletics Hall of Fame.
Okay, I wrote something because if I am unsupervised, I will go off script. This is really warm. Thank you very much for that introduction. It's an honor to be here in this room with my fellow inductees and learn about amazing accomplishments of everyone while at PLU. Better yet, it's great to be here with my teammates and my rowing coach, David Peterson, to celebrate with me, so thank you for being here. We now have 5 rowers in the PLU Hall of Fame, and thank you for including one more crazy rower to your family. It's been 26 years since I left PLU. It's hard to believe, but ever since the day I left, I started a life's great adventure. I moved to Indiana. I fell in love, not with the state. Traveled the world with the United States rowing team, and I'm now back in Seattle. I've been here 20 years and run a very successful business with my wife, Kelly. When I think back to my time as a rower, I was not supposed to be a rower. I was sitting on the steps of Harstad, kind of down on my luck, and I was going to go play basketball, and I was bummed that I couldn't afford new shoes. And Pam Knapp, a 2003 inductee, she walked by and she goes, "Hey Elise, you should try rowing." What? What's rowing? I had no idea what she was talking about. The next day I took a 20-minute van ride with some ladies, and We went out to American Lake, and not only was it beautiful, but I fell in love with the sport. I had never been in a really skinny boat that you had to balance. I had no idea what to do with a 12-foot oar, and I had no desire to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to practice. Of course, they never told me that I got up at 4:30 in the morning. They just thought, where's a good time? What drew me to the sport was the people. They're hardworking, they're committed, they're dedicated, they're driven, they're fun. It was a safe group, and we're scrappy. We never had any money. We made our own t-shirts. They're not very good. And everything in rowing was expensive. We rowed in wooden boats with wooden oars when all the other schools had the fancy carbon fiber lightweight equipment. And even with our wood boats and our wood oars, we would be competitive and oftentimes beat the fancy schools. And during my time, we were competing against UCLA, U of O, OSU, WSU, Yale, Radcliffe, and many other schools and clubs that were clearly out of our league. Rowing pushed me to the limits that I never saw in myself and provided me an opportunity to win, and I loved winning. It formed the groundwork of who I am today. And talking about winning and my boat, my original boat from my senior year, when we went down to the West Coast Championships, is here today. And I want them to stand up. It's Carrie Martin, Jana Banana, Robin Rockstetter Rex, Patrice Carlson. Where's the other one? Oh, me. This boat was amazing, and it was the best race of my life, where we were the only wooden boat. And before a race, you always go up to your competitors and say, "Do you want a shirt race?" It's the end of the year, it's the big race, and we made Jana do it. And she's like, "You want a shirt race?" And they'd go, "Who are you?" "We're PLU." And they're like, "Oh, sure." So we got all their shirts. That was the best race ever, and I'll never forget it. Whenever I get into a boat with strangers, I'm so disappointed. I'm like, come on, pay attention. Anyway, so after I rode and had the best race of my life, I decided to coach. And Coach Schmidt said, "You need to coach." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll coach." And over the 4 years that I was a coach, I had over 500 wide-eyed women get in the boat and attempt to row. Some were good, some not so good. They learned something new about themselves, and they learned that as a coach, I would work out with them, and if they didn't show up for practice at 4:30 in the morning, I would go to their dorm, pound on the door, and drag them out of bed. What I'm most proud of as a coach is I introduced many young women to the sport of rowing, that they could do 2% better than their last race. I challenged them to be their best, and most importantly, I didn't lose any of them into the cold waters of America. Standing at this podium today, I realized I've come away since 1989. I see a lot of smiling faces out there, former teammates, family, longtime friends. Thanks to Pam Knapp for introducing me to rowing, and to Coach Smed for taming this wild Scandinavian Montanan. My teammates for pushing me, and my wife for her love and support over the last 25 years. And thank you to PLU Athletics for putting me on the Hall of Fame. That's amazing. What do we eat? What do we eat?
Lager meat! Lager meat!